Good morning, everyone. I'm Vince Lancy, and a little bit of a head cold, so bear with me, please, if I sniffle more than usual. We have some things to talk about, right? Live by the sword, die by the sword, I think is the expression that I used this morning. American exceptionalism on display. All right. We're going to go through gold, where we are, what it means in the short term, what it means in the long term. And it's going to be a lot of charts to give you an idea of how to comprehend. If you're worried at all, you shouldn't be, but if you're worried at all, give you an idea of what we're doing here. All right, start with the markets. The dollar is up 26 again, 106.74. That's American exceptionalism. U.S. 10-year yields are unchanged, 444. The S&P 500 is 59.92, up 1. The VIX is 14.14, up 13, almost down like 40% in the last 2 weeks. Gold, 25.53, down 19. Silver, 29.89, down 39. Copper, 401, down 4 cents. WTI up 80 at 69.08. Natural gas, 270, unchanged, on the verge of a breakout, I think. Bitcoin, 91,357, up 680, or is it 880? 880. Ethereum, 31.83. Ethereum is the silver in crypto. We're going to sell Ethereum so we can buy our Bitcoin. Same idea. We do it all the time. Palladium, down 5, 928. Platinum, 933. Oh, it's flipped, up 4. But that's not a reason to be long platinum and short palladium. It's just a reason to be short palladium right now, right? Because platinum is the stable metal. Palladium is the lunatic, right? All right. Grains, nothing crazy. Soy is up a little bit. Corn is up a tiny bit. And wheat is down 3 cents. There's the gold chart, one of the charts we'll be looking at today. And let's take a look at our front page. American exceptionalism on display. I recorded a conversation with Peruvian Bull. That should be up in a day, maybe today, I'm not sure. And had a nice conversation, nice long conversation with Andy Scheckman yesterday. I'm not sure when that'll be up, but I'll let you know when that happens. But this is not about me. This is about what we're talking about here. So discussion, live by the scimitar, die by the scimitar. Could have used other names depending on what country you're picking, but I'm talking about Eastern buying. And we have a Michael Every geopolitical analysis, a very good, in-depth. It's almost a handbook that we're writing this up now. We'll put it out today. It's not going to go out with this video. All right. Homepage, Tom Luongo, very popular person, friend of mine. I would consider him a friend of mine, even though he has bad taste in music. I'm kidding. His taste in music is fine. Mine is immature. Metals under Musk, we talked about that, or Trump Musk, President Musk, et cetera, et cetera. All right, here we go. A discussion. American exceptionalism means BRICS. These are topics that we're going to touch on with these charts. Tariffs may be inflationary for U.S. people, but it is deflationary for emerging markets. Fear, Trump 2.0, macro discretionary boys, and CTA tourists. Okay, I have some typos to take care of there. Oversold today, overbought last month, and do presidents matter? All right. The chart we start with first is from the market ear. I wish that was a little bit bigger. Not this bad since COVID. Now, what are we looking at there? We're looking at a chart that's return on capital. And that little green circle they have down there at the bottom, that is how much gold has come off as a return on capital. And it hasn't been this low since COVID. So what happened after COVID? Not predicting, just saying things don't stay at the extreme forever. Next, fear of the unknown is unwinding. Gold is a hedge against the unknown. The VIX is the line set aside against gold there. All risk off and hedging assets are sliding as American money leaves. That's the VIX, which has gone from 23 down to 14. That's 40%. Is gold down 40%? No. I mean, you get my point is people that were worried about the American election are selling everything that was a hedge for it. And the VIX the bond volatility, gold, that's going to happen. This has to happen. We've discussed this many times. All right. Oh, I didn't mean to be there. I mean to be here. Gold is an emerging market. It competes with the US dollar for money. As India and China go, so goes gold in the short term. Talking about two concepts in this graph. The first one is this. The reason gold goes, we say, oh, the gold goes up because it's denominated in dollars. Yeah, that's right. Gold goes down because it's denominated in dollars. Yeah. But this is the global reserve currency, folks. The global reserve currency is what things are denominated in. So if the dollar is strong, then another country's currency is weak. And if the country's currency is weak, then their need to borrow in dollars to finance their economy goes up and their stock market goes down. So if you are an emerging market like India, which is shown here, you will track gold because you have a lot of gold in your economy, sure, but also because, well, you need dollars. So that's the first thing. If you're an emerging market participant, if you're in India and you're on the cusp, you're selling your stocks now. And you're not selling gold, but you're not buying anymore. You're like, okay, we don't have a little money this month. We're going to have to wait till next month. So it's the marginal buyer that's going to back off. Now, have they backed off today? No, but the market is anticipating them to back off. All right. Second thing is, and this is more to my heart, when you look at emerging market currencies, as I do, it's this country, that country, that country, throw gold in there. Gold is a competing country to the US. Gold is a currency. Gold is money, and gold is a nation, right? If another economy is doing well, that's money out of dollars. Well, gold is a competing country. Gold is an emerging market, I was taught by a mentor. So if gold is going up, then the dollar is going down, and emerging markets are doing well. We can't have that in the US, can we? And so something happens like this, and you see things go. So if India and China go, so goes gold in the short term. Okay, that's it. Gold is an emerging market. Another reason gold is weaker. Here's an analog from Refinitiv. Well, I put the markings on there. Same shit, different election. This is a chart of Trump in gray, 10 days before the day of the election, and then up to 30 days after. And this is the chart updated to the 2024 election. Same shit, different election, folks. Okay, so there's a pattern here. This is not unknown territory. This has happened before. It's all happened before. All right, so this to give you an idea of the analog, right? People get in before the election, they get out. And I'll show you later on, and what happened to gold under Trump? Well, it did okay. Yeah, it did very okay. It did as good as it did under Biden. I'll show you that in a second. Much needed return to trend is in play. Okay, so now the market's dropping. Where will it stop? Right? Nobody knows this answer. They're lying to you if they do. But I'll give you an answer where it should stop or pause, right? And that is the 100-day moving average that we hit. Now, when you hit a 100-day moving average and you're a big boy, like a macro D guy, you're going like this. 100-day moving average, alarm goes off. You say, should I buy more or should I sell? Now, at this point in the cycle, and I say this cycle because it's after the election, at this point in the cycle, some of them are going to buy, some of them are going to sell. So the market should stabilize here for a day. I would love it to stabilize here for a month. It can do that. This is what was happening here. Okay, it was stabilizing at the 50-day moving average back here. I would love it to stabilize here for a month. Everyone gets killed that's long options, right? Everyone sells that's long, the speculators are out, and the market doesn't drop. And that's because there's no organic selling. Still, there's no producer selling. Maybe there will be, I don't know. So my prognosis is either a pause or a puke is coming. Okay. Now, the reason I say, okay, it could go up or it could go down, right? No. Sideways or a puke. A puke is it drops hard, and then at some point it finds a buyer and it stops. That's your puke. The rest of the American sellers have to sell. Still above the upper band of the big picture trend. Okay, so big picture, I just gave you a relatively small picture. Here's the big picture. The yellow lines there, that's an approximation of something that Michael Oliver drew last month. And that's the trend for gold going back to, 2018 actually, but let's start with 2021, right? And we're still above it. And look at that. We're magically back to those lines that I drew there. I don't even know why I drew that line anymore. Oh, that was where the BIS capped at one time. And here we are back to my line, and my line is intersecting with his line in this area. And, lo and behold, we're still above this long-term trend. So as much as I want to be saying the momentum is only higher now because we're above this trend, part of me says, yeah, well, we're going to back test that, and the other part of me says, well, we're above trend, and I'm not going to be surprised if we go back into it, at least for a time being. And I would wait for, let's assume that I'm a client of Michael Oliver's, which I am. Uh, uh, we're mutuals, let's put it that way. I would look for something. I don't know what he's going to write. Okay, I'm not predicting anything, but I would look for something coming out of him saying long-term momentum is intact, short-term momentum has taken a pause. I'll let you know when it kicks up again, and that's it. So what am I doing with this chart? And RSI is already oversold. Okay, so look at the RSI. Look at that steep drop, the yellow line at the bottom. Can it keep going? Yes, it can keep going, but this is, you kind of want this. You kind of want this to just get it over with. Rip the Band-Aid off, get the bad blood out of your system, whatever you want to call it. But we're still above the upper band of the big picture trend. I would be perfectly happy with us going back down to 2,300. I would. You may not be, but I would, because, well, you'll see in the end why I don't give a shit about price today. There is, oh boy. Did I chop off my words? Hold on. Yeah, I chopped off my words. All right. There is no difference. A little closer look between Trump 1 and Trump 2, right? There is no difference between election week in 2016 and election week in 2024. The top is 2016. I'm sorry, 2024. The bottom is 2016. The two vertical lines, the line on the left is 9 days before the election, where I identified the trend to sync up even more. And the other vertical line is the day of the election. Okay, so we sync up, we get that last puff of buying. Oh my God, the end of the world could come, and they buy gold, right? And they buy VIX, and they buy all this other stuff. And then the election comes, and then the downward slope starts. It's all been foretold. Okay. The only difference is this year, those of you who are familiar, I'm showing you a line chart. If you were showing a candle chart on 2016, the market rallied almost $100 and then went back to unchanged. So on the day it was like unchanged, but it had a $100 higher range. And that's because they weren't ready for it. They're like, oh, we didn't think Trump was going to win. This year, they were ready for it. Market was capped. Everything was cool. Obviously, I'm a conspiracy theorist. I do believe in that, and I'm right. So we know they don't like headlines, but they don't care about price anymore as long as stocks rally. Typos. Do presidents matter in the long run? Did you know that until August of this year, gold had gone up more under Trump 1 than under Biden? And it wasn't until approximately August of this year that gold under Biden started to rip higher. Now it's because of the election coming up to be electing Trump 2.0. Okay, so do presidents matter in the long run? No, deficits matter in the long run. So on the left-hand side, you have Biden, and under his regime, we'll call it, approximately 68% as of today. Gold over 4 years was up 68% during Biden's reign. Trump 1.0, gold closed at approximately up 61%. Not bad. Not a big deal. Doesn't matter who the president is. And frankly, gold will be higher under a guy who decorates his home in gilded gold, right? A guy who's anti Wall Street. I mean, I know he's going to hire Wall Street people, but you have to understand, Trump is a corporatist. I keep talking about this. I'll spell it out in a podcast, but Trump is a corporatist. Corporatists don't like financial people. They deal with them. Corporatists default to banks. Corporatists say, screw it, I'm defaulting, try and take the asset back, right? He's done that several times. Corporatists say, how can I get the middleman out? That's the banker. And how do you do that? Well, gold standard removes the Fed. Bitcoin removes the banks. This is his culture, right? He's not anti-gold. He's anti-bank. He's pro-gold, pro-Bitcoin, et cetera, yada, yada. But that's the whole deal. That's what's going on. All right. So I'm betting. I'm not betting on, I don't have anything on. I'm betting that the market is going to pause or puke. So I'm either going to be, let's say I had 3 contracts to buy. I'd buy one here and I'd let the other 2 go. Maybe it'll just drop and I'll buy 2 more. But if it continues to route, it rallies off here, so at least I bought one. All right. News analysis, founders, quick takes. Interesting because there's a really nice chart in there about which country really gets affected by tariffs the most. And it's fascinating because you can see who the ones that are going to be forgiven and who the ones that won't be forgiven, like who they'll get carve-outs. And then you see China's like 60%. Republicans keep the House sweep branches. That's a zero hedge story. Good coverage of how that went down. Tom Luongo talking shit about markets. And gold open interest is very important now. That was yesterday. Today's news, you can take a look at that. And data index, CPI, PPI. There you go. Quick check on the markets. My dog is barking now. Gold's down 19. So, kind of stabilizes. This could be the pause that refreshes. All right. Have a great day, everyone.